Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading in particular. Welcome to your mystery reading. The first thing that we're going to do is shuffle out one card from the Magical Dogs Tarot to get the context or the general energy of your reading. If you want to be a part of the community that I'm trying to create, subscribe and hit that notification bell. And if you're interested, you can also find me on TikTok. I just do more readings over there. The link to that will be in the description. And before we get this card for you, remember that this is a general reading on YouTube, so use your judgment and make sure the messages truly do resonate. I just saw 44, so I feel like someone's foundation right now is very significant, definitely mentally and emotionally, but also could have something to do with something material, like a relationship, house, whatever it may be. Okay, so we have the Page of Pentacles here. I just saw 111, but there are all different kinds of messages that could come from this card. So I'm going to try my best to hit all the bases, and we'll see. But I just saw 122. Remember that change starts with you. With 122 coming through, I really feel like this might have something to do with you making a difference through healing your inner child. Inner child energy is very, very strong here, and this could have to do with learning to become comfortable with new things, with change, with endings, with transformation, maybe even your own transformation. It's not that the universe wants you to forget your childhood self or your inner child. It's actually the opposite. The universe wants you to be really connected with that side of yourself, but it's important to recognize that you're older now, and since you're older, it's easier to understand things from a more mature perspective. There could be indication here of something about a journey that you've never done before, or it could just generally be about being anxious, about trying new things. I really, really do feel like whoever is watching this is not particularly comfortable with change. I just saw 2, 3, 4. Trust that the changes in your life are happening for a reason and will definitely pay off and be worth it on a lot of different levels. Remember that the work that you're doing on yourself is much, much bigger than yourself, and you're definitely being called to take part in the collective effort to spread awareness, to raise consciousness, so we can help make the world a better place, for sure. I'm going to look deeper into this with the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot. I love this deck so much. The Nightmare Before Christmas movie could be significant. Jack and Sally could be significant. This makes me think of the lovers in this deck. So there could be a specific relationship here that you're being called to invest in, like a new relationship. It definitely does feel like something new, or like maybe you're being called to move on from a previous relationship so you can start something new. I just saw 3, 4, 5. Trust that moving on, everything is happening for a reason. Everything is happening in your favor. You just have to look at the challenges as sacrifices that need to be made, and that are definitely worth making. So for the first card from the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot, we have the 5 of Swords, and that makes a lot of sense. This is highlighting some sort of inner battle that is going on within you that you really need to find resolution with. And I feel like this inner battle is like you really, really want to stick to your morals and fight for what's right, but there's too much anxiety here, that you're too much in your head. And the first thing that I want to say, I just saw 4, 3, 2. First, trust that everything happens for a reason. And also, don't be hard on yourself right now, because it's just going to push you further and further away from what you deserve. It's really important to see your worth and what you deserve exactly for what they are right now. I feel like something's coming through about being self-destructive, because like it has to be, like, it feels personal between you and the universe, if that makes sense. And I feel like you do have an opportunity here to repair your relationship with the universe. And the 5 is interesting because that definitely does indicate and confirm the uncomfortable changes that I was talking about. Remember that it's okay to feel uncomfortable. All that matters is that you keep moving forward. Despite how you feel, you can still have control over your actions, even though how we feel can have a pretty strong influence on our actions. Wow. For the next card, we have Judgment, which makes a lot of sense. This definitely is talking about growing out of that more... I definitely feel like you're being called to change the way you look at things on a very, very deep level. Like you looked at it one way when you were younger, and now that you're older, it's time to look at it a different way, in a more mature and less pessimistic kind of way. Definitely, we have this 4 of Wands that just fell on the floor. Definitely communicate with the universe at this time. Try to be open to receiving messages. Pay attention to signs, synchronicities, and remember that those signs and synchronicities will only become stronger and more powerful the more committed you are to your health, your mental health. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. With Judgment, how you see things is really what you need to be focused on right now, so that way you can have more control over how you see things. The way you're looking at things right now are a little more self-destructive, like own worst enemy kind of energy coming from that 5 of Swords imagery. It's like a battle between you and yourself. And I really feel like you need to find a lot of closure with some anxieties, especially that have to do about life and death. And I think that's what the universe is trying to reach out to you about, to help you learn more about like the afterlife, the other side, that kind of thing. So that way you could find the true deep meaning in why you go through the challenges, why you go through the challenges you do. You just have to trust that everything has to happen in a certain way. And just trust that over time it will make sense, even if it's not in this lifetime. And also stay open to all different kinds of possibilities. Stay open-minded for sure, but also don't let this open-mindedness lose your balance. Whenever you're kind of thinking about scary things or things that make you anxious, like that are spiritual, just remember that you are in control. You know, if you're not ready to explore something, then don't. It's that simple. And if you are, but you know, you still have that fear that you feel around trying to understand things beyond this reality, just really be kind with yourself whenever you're feeling this anxiety, and remember that the universe and your spirit guides are always there to communicate with you. I really feel like you could need something that could really help ground yourself whenever you're feeling a lot of anxiety and your mind is really distracted from what means the most to you. With the 4 of Wands, in the beginning when I saw 44, I did say that your foundation could be significant. The number 444 might be significant, but yeah, this definitely feels like your foundation on a very deep level, with the 5 of Swords showing up here. It's like you have the courage, you have the stubbornness that you need to make things happen, but it matters what you're stubborn about. You need to balance out your courage with more grace. You need to really be more hopeful and more optimistic, and definitely trust the universe more, and that good things can, will, and do happen to you. I'm telling you, the healing that you do around this inner battle is really, really going to pay off, not only in a spiritual way, but also a material way. Remember that what's going on the inside reflects on the outside. So if there is chaos going on within yourself right now, I just saw 1010. I wouldn't be surprised if there were other parts of your life, certain relationships, a job, where things don't really flow. That 1010 is a reminder that your spirit guides are there, and they want to really want to communicate with you, and they want to guide you. And if you are truly open to healing and being honest with yourself and seeing things for what they are, definitely, I feel something here about how receiving messages from the universe and everything will be a lot easier. So stay connected with your spirit guides, with your faith. And I wanted to say, and try not to get lost. But it's okay to feel lost, because we're not always going to know everything. I definitely feel like maybe you need to be more comfortable with not knowing everything, with not knowing every single detail of a plan to execute it, just trusting that it's going to work out. Just saw 1111. Wow. If you have any wishes or dreams or anything like that you want to make a reality, it's definitely possible for you. It's just, you have to really be careful. I feel like your biggest obstacles right now when it comes to working on something is yourself. And you need to be careful whenever you're feeling frustrated, whenever you want to be self-destructive. Catch yourself in that moment. Have understanding for yourself, your younger self, and kindly, help your inner child be more accepting of when things don't go their way. I really do feel like you need to repair your relationship with yourself and the universe. It's kind of one and the same. But yeah, stay focused on your foundation, especially your mental health. Definitely, of course, other aspects of your life too, like where you live, where you work. Make sure everything aligns with what you really do deserve. Oh my gosh, now we have the 8 of Wands. You could be in this fast-moving energy already. One second. Walking away from something, letting things go. I think that makes life feel like it's going by faster. So definitely with all of these things going on, with all of these changes happening, it's very important right now that you stop and slow down whenever you really need to, just because of how fast things seem to be changing. So, remember, if the world feels like it's spinning fast, remember you have the power to slow it down. You just need to stop distracting yourself and look inward whenever your inner voice is trying to speak to you. I just saw 13. Speaking to yourself, learning to trust your intuition. There's a lot of luck around that. It's really going to pay off. And I just saw 321. So of course, trust that everything definitely does happen for a reason, and we don't always have to know every single detail of a plan to know that it's a good plan. I just saw 333 as well, so that does point out your growth and expanding as a result of that growth. The more, right now, you're always attracting things to you, but just at least to some degree you have control of what comes towards you, and it has a lot to do with your energy and the kind of energy that you put out. So the more honest you are with yourself, the more honest the universe is going to be with you, in terms of you being able to see things clearly and know exactly what's going on and know exactly what to do and all those kinds of things. And with the 8, I always love that message of let go, knowing that you deserve more, and don't be afraid to explore the idea of death and what happens after we die. I just saw 432. Everything happens for a reason. The way that I look at death, it's just a change, it's just a transformation. And just like any other change or transformation in our life, it's never as scary as you think. Like every time I watch, 99% of the time I watch near-death experience stories, it's never you know, if you knew, I feel like you would feel a lot more comfortable. But you don't have to know that you're going to be safe, that you're going to be okay, that you're going to go wherever you are meant to be. You are not separate from this universe. You are part of it. So, you know, you don't have to be afraid of it. We got the Emperor next, which is represented with the number 4. This 444 type of energy is very, very strong. So that's a very clear message here that focusing on your foundation, your home life, the people you surround yourself with, your job, is really, really important right now. And the best way to understand, you know, where you're supposed to be working, who you're supposed to live with, where you're supposed to live, is to heal right now. Everything you need to know is going to come from within. And I just saw 555. That inner transformation is going to reflect outwardly as an external transformation. With me coughing, this definitely does make me think of your throat chakra. So that could be an important chakra to look up. Maybe also your root chakra with this foundational type of energy. Or you can look up all of the chakras, just wherever you feel called to in general. If you feel like doing some spiritual or occult type of research, don't be afraid to do that. Knowledge is key. I almost said knowledge is wisdom. So that could be an interesting message for someone. It's like, even though our answers can come from within, they don't have to all the time. Like, you know, I'm not trying to make this complicated, but I hope it makes sense. The Emperor is really calling for you to step into your power here, to feel secure in who you are, and to stabilize your emotions so you can have a secure and stable foundation. Without you, there is no house, there is no job, there is nothing. You are the foundation of your foundation. So if you want your foundation to be stable, you need the foundation of your foundation to be stable. Your mental health. Seeing things clearly is very, very important for you right now. I feel like there could be some illusions or distortions affecting your judgment for sure, and making you make decisions that you don't truly believe in or trust. Your decisions are very, very important right now. The 7 of Cups might be a significant tarot card for you. In the way I read tarot, before the Emperor comes the Empress, and the Empress is all about having control over your thoughts. Our thoughts control our perspective, like the way that we see things, and that's why they control our reality. It's so, so important for you to have control over your emotions. There's a difference between controlling your emotions and suppressing them, for sure. And I do hear a siren outside. I just saw 1818 as well. That comes down to 99. Wow. And with the sirens, I know that could be a message about Archangel Michael for someone. So his presence, that's being confirmed for you, or your purpose. Wow. Does feel like it could have something to do with Archangel Michael. I feel like that could be a specific, like, spiritual being that does want to communicate with you. For the next card, we have the 9 of Swords. Yeah, without a doubt, there's some fear here and some anxiety that makes it harder for you to have control over your choices. For you know whatever makes you anxious, it's going to be different for everybody. But the way I see it, you could either believe in yourself and that you could, that you're strong and capable, or you could just tell yourself that things are better than they may seem. For sure. I mean, we all cope with anxiety differently. Just make sure the way that you're coping with your anxiety, with your fear, is healthy. There could be fear here around using your voice, speaking up, standing up for what you deserve. And you definitely need to learn how to become more comfortable with that. Wow. We have the 7 of Cups. I did say that card could be significant. So lo and behold, here it is. With this card clarifying the Four of Wands, there's a lot of mystery, it feels like, around where you're supposed to be working or who you should live with, the people you should surround yourself with. There's a lot of mystery around your foundation. There's definitely some choices that need to be made here to help stabilize your foundation. There's so I'm not sure what it looks like on the traditional tarot, but I'm thinking of the Seven of Cups from the Magical Dogs tarot. And there's all these magical things on the lily pads, and one of them is a snake. I just uploaded a reading with a snake, so that could be significant for you. But I just really, really feel like, I don't know, this is a really deep message. The best way I can say it is that how clearly you're seeing things is so important right now, because your choices, I'm seeing 111, trust yourself, believe in yourself, and don't be afraid to do your own thing. Yeah, I was feeling something here about family with the Four of Wands. Don't be afraid to set boundaries with people, no matter who it is, that can't treat you the way that you deserve to be treated. I think you're really being called to understand what unconditional love means. You know, you can still love people from a distance. You can forgive people from a distance. You know, just because you make room for understanding for these people, that does not mean you have to keep putting up with their crap. For sure. For the last card, we have the Wheel of Fortune. I think this card came out with the TikToks that I recorded today. But it's interesting, this Wheel of Fortune is clarifying this fast-moving energy. I think you're really being reminded that the wheel is turning. While all of this change and craziness is happening, the wheel is turning in the background. I just saw 2, 2, 2, 2. So finding balance in your life and removing what no longer serves you mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. That's what's significant right now. And I just saw 2, 3, 4. Trust that everything happens for a reason. I really think that trusting that everything happens for a reason will help you stay open-minded and be curious about, you know, what's out there and stuff like that. But remember that, you know, the changes that you're making right now, it looks like you're doing them for nothing, but I'm telling you, like, energetically, it's paying off. And you're definitely attracting better for yourself the more committed you stay to yourself. I just saw 2, 3, 4 again. So your spirit guides really, really want you to trust that everything happens for a reason, and to not take the challenges put on your path personally. You're not alone, I promise. And to wrap this reading up, I'm going to, from this baggie, I'm going to grab, they're like little strips of paper from Fortune Cookies. I'm going to get one of those to wrap up this reading. But before I read off the one that I got, I did see 333. Again, that could be, and I just saw 2, 3, 4. 333 could be, it could have like mysterious messages about it. It could also be a sign about some sort of occult or supernatural wisdom or something like that. I do know that it's definitely talking about your growth. There's a lot to gain here spiritually from your growth. If you're really interested in like your spiritual gifts and your psychicness and stuff like that, healing is definitely going to get there. So I feel like the best motivators you have right now to help you stay focused is what you deserve and some cool spiritual stuff, at least in my opinion. But wow, it says, if it will focus, good luck will come in the springtime. So like what I've been saying about good luck, there's your confirmation. And of course there could be a very specific message here for someone that you will be able to reap what you've sown this springtime or a spring. I don't know. A springtime could be next spring, the spring after, something like that. And this could also be, it doesn't have to be spring either. It could be any season. It feels like some season here, you know, winter, spring, fall, whatever, you will be able to reap what you sowed. And obviously that's going to be true. But maybe if you're seeing signs about a specific season, that could be a message about when you could be, you know, reaping what you've sown. So I'm really, really happy that this fortune thing came out talking about good luck, because I think you really, really need to hear that your work is definitely going to pay off. You just can't expect it to pay off, for it to pay off. And for your last message, I just saw 555, which is a good number to end this reading, because your internal transformation is exactly what you need to be focused on. Whatever you do internally, it's going to reflect outwardly. That's just how it works. But that will be the end of your reading. I hope that it was helpful or relevant in some way. If you'd like to hit the like button to show me that, that's the best way to support me. And if you'd like to offer even more support, you can donate through the thanks button directly below the video. Absolutely not obligated, but always very much appreciated. Leave a comment if you have any. I'd really love to connect with you more. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you around.